There's a moment many people recognize but rarely name. You're doing all the right things on the outside. You're kind. You're accommodating. You're emotionally available. And yet, your relationships keep ending the same way. You feel drained, misunderstood, or quietly resentful. You keep asking yourself why love feels like labor, why closeness costs you your center, and why giving more never seems to bring you the connection you crave. This is where the divine principle of correspondence begins. Correspondence is not the idea that your thoughts magically create reality. That is a shallow interpretation. Correspondence teaches something far more confronting and far more useful. Your outer relationships will always mirror the internal agreements you are living by. Not your intentions, not your values, your embodied boundaries. What you tolerate, what you suppress, what you abandon in yourself to stay connected. In my book, Awaken Your Shadow, I explain that the compassionate self exists to create connection without self-erasure. Its divine expression is the lover. Its shadow is codependence. The difference between the two is not how much you care. It is whether you remain present in your own body while you care. The principle of correspondence states that inner and outer realities move in relationship. Not imitation, not equality. Correspondence. When you collapse internally, your external relationships begin to dominate, drain, or consume you. When you harden internally, relationships grow cold, transactional, or distant. The world does not respond to what you say you want. It responds to the posture you hold. This is why people who say, "I just want love," often keep attracting chaos. They want connection, but their nervous system associates closeness with survival. So they over-accommodate. They anticipate needs that were never spoken. They absorb discomfort instead of expressing truth. And slowly, the relationship mirrors that distortion. One person expands, the other disappears. That is not love. That is misaligned correspondence. When correspondence is healthy, intimacy has rhythm, giving and receiving, expression and containment, presence and autonomy. When the compassionate self is grounded, love does not feel like a tightrope. It feels like shared ground. You do not perform empathy, you inhabit it. But when the shadow of codependence takes over, the system breaks. Empathy turns into self-sacrifice. Patience turns into silence. Loyalty turns into endurance. Over time, the relationship becomes a mirror of your internal abandonment. This is why shadow work is essential. You cannot fix correspondence by choosing better people. You restore correspondence by restoring internal alignment. By learning to stay present when tension arises. By allowing disappointment without rushing to repair it. By telling the truth without cushioning it to manage another person's reaction. The divine principle of correspondence demands congruence. What you feel, what you say, and what you do must begin to match. When they do not, your relationships will carry the imbalance for you. Spiritually, this domain is governed by Archangel Gabriel and the virtue of patience. Not passive waiting, but regulated presence. Patience allows space without collapse. It keeps the heart open without losing the spine. When correspondence is aligned, relationships stop being battlegrounds for worth. You no longer chase closeness or test loyalty. You become someone who can be trusted with intimacy, not because you never feel triggered, but because you do not disappear when you are. This is the deeper invitation of the compassionate self: to love without bargaining, to connect without contorting, to let relationships reveal truth instead of demanding safety at any cost. This teaching comes from Awaken Your Shadow, and it is part of a larger exploration of the 7 divine principles and the 8 selves. If this resonates, you can listen to the complete audiobook of Awaken Your Shadow on my YouTube channel. Like this video, share it with someone learning to love without losing themselves, and subscribe to follow the full 7 Divine Principles series.